One of our many trips to Peoria this last Friday, and it went well. So this meet was great because a little smaller than a lot of the other meets we go to, and so that gives you a little bit more of a conference type feel. Only with about 8 other teams in there, forces you to run as a team a little bit more. You don't want to get disconnected, especially in a small meet. If you find yourself on an island, it's really tough. In bigger meets, if you get disconnected from your team, you usually have a lot of other people to run around. These meets force you to kind of really focus on the pack running aspect of the sport, which is what you want to do heading in. Both teams did pretty well there. Obviously, the women coming away with the win was really nice to see. Our spread between our first and our third was only 13 seconds, and then it got a little bit longer, all the way up to 53 seconds from our first to our fifth runner. And so we will continue to try to work that down a little bit as we get closer to championship time. But we had some new people in there that are doing a really terrific job. Paige Holub is a freshman from Monticello. She was our fifth runner, and has really accelerated the last few weeks just in training, and how she's competing is terrific there. Michaela Cole was our number one. Gabby Champion was our number two. They were right within 2 seconds of each other, and then sophomore Gabby Skopek was our third runner. And so really like where we're at there. We had a couple people out just with some little nagging injuries we're trying to get over there, and so I think we'll be a little bit stronger, even a little more depth in that 4th through 6th spot, which is going to be huge for us going forward. The men, Walcott was our number one runner there. He placed, I think, in the top 10, looked really good. And then we had 2 guys out this week, both battling a little illness, which is crazy. It's September. You don't think about being sick, but man, you get all these college kids back to campus. It's like a petri dish of some illnesses going on. And so best to hold those guys off and just get them 100%. And so I think, again, we'll have a lot more depth once we get into the next couple meets, and it'll really sure up our 3rd through 5th, 6th spots with a couple more guys in there. But Alex Jackson, senior for us from Fort Dodge, and then freshman Sam McCool did a really good job for us as a freshman, his first 8K. It's always tough to see what that transition is going to be. It's a lot farther than the 5K in high school to go up to the 8,000, and so he's doing a really good job adapting there. And so I really like where both teams are at right now. Pretty healthy for the most part. It was really hot on that day. The start of race was about 87 degrees right in there, and so that makes it pretty challenging. I thought our kids did a really good job of being prepared, and so we take this week off, get a good block of training in, then we'll be back up to Minnesota, which this was a small meet last weekend. Next time out up at Minnesota at the GRIAC invites, you're going to be looking at about 30 teams per gender, and so that'll be one we got to sharpen our elbows and get ready to be a little more physical running there. So we see a lot of Big Ten schools up there. Some schools fly in from the West Coast, quite a few. So I think San Francisco's been there in years past. And so it's the same weekend as a big meet up in Wisconsin. And so they host the national championships this year over in Madison. And so I know some of the schools that typically go to Minnesota might venture over to Madison just to kind of get a view of the course. But we should know here in the next, by the end of this week, who's all going to be there. But we should see quite a few Power 5 schools and a lot of big-time mid-major programs. So should definitely be a good measuring stick to where we're at.